Yes, absolutely. We wanted... I think maybe this sort of long sort of layoff sort of probably stemmed from me, and I just decided for myself that I think if I sort of come out with it and say, look, let's have a rest, and by that I meant let's not just a little rest and then we go back in the studios. We wanted to sort of change the whole sort of format of things that we were doing, and also give us time to do certain solo stuff, basically.
You were singing with that big lady.
Well, I wasn't then, as you know, and it just sort of happened. Really, I mean, when we were actually doing the sort of Magic tour, I mean, I had no inclination that I was going to do a solo sort of project with Montserrat. But I did have in the back of my mind that I wanted to do something by myself. And I think so did the other lads.
And we'd had so many years, you know.
Yes, and so it was just a sort of breather.
Doing the same things, yeah.
It was just a breather, and to do some things that we wanted to do without each other. But it wasn't a split. It's because I think we know each other quite instinctively now after all these years. And there wasn't anything like, oh, I want to go and further my career without you. It wasn't that sort of thing. Just something that...
Space to do something else.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been together now 18 years, I would say. 17 or whatever.
Oh my God! No.
I really think that if egos had sort of... if egos came into it, they would have done that a long time ago, and we would have gone our separate ways and all that. I think it's just, after a while, we get bored with each other, and then sort of we need
a bit of space.
We need a bit of space.
I think we learn to give each other space, which helps.
The lyrics, no, actually, I think that's one of the songs where we all contributed, and wouldn't you say? I think on this album, it's the closest we've ever actually been in terms of actually writing together, and that's quite true. Before, we've actually had individual songs that we sort of put about and bring to the other people, and the other, I mean, you know, the others would sort of put their sort of bits in it. But I think from the start, these sort of tracks have sort of actually emerged by the four of us. So I mean, I think it is. That's why I think this album's got nearly all tracks written by Queen. But lyrically, going back to The Miracle, I think the four of us really put everything into it, because I mean, somebody would come in with one line and say, oh, that's terrible, and change it. And so, in fact, I mean, in one way I hate that, because I have to keep singing the different lyrics every day until we sort of agree on the final one. But no, I'd say lyrically, The Miracle is a definite four-way split, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Also, staying away from each other for a couple of years helps. You see, that's the reason. I mean, it didn't feel like sort of work in a way that, because after we took this long sort of holiday or doing our solo stuff, we decided that we'd only come back together if we really wanted to, and we felt that we really wanted to. And I remember, I mean, in fact, some of the first couple of tracks, the Party and Khashoggi's Ship that you're talking about, is something that we just came into the studio and things just evolved naturally straight away. So we were hungry for it, and it felt like the early days to us, and that's why we got very sort of excited and said, oh yes, this is going to be. And out came a whole load of tracks, which we had to sort of, in fact, I think I seem to remember that we had to choose from something like 30 tracks to get down to this last 10, which is quite good. It's a good year.
So what do you
crop.
It's good vintage.
Good crop. Well, they're still running about. I mean, they're there. But I mean, I think in one way it was quite hard to sort of sift through all of them and actually decide. In fact, that's where all the rows came in. But I mean, that's good. So we had to decide. A lot of people had individual tracks that they liked. And in the end, we had to sort of say, because the one thing I didn't want to do was actually work on all 30 tracks.